Hey, it is the Cartomancer and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another pick a card. Picker cards are always a little daunting for me because I do all of my own video editing, so hopefully everything's edited well and not too choppy. But thank you for sticking around through the learning process regardless. Today we have 3 piles, and in lieu of Valentine's Day, we're going to be doing our first post-it love reading. So this is going to be just a love check-in, like what do you need to know, what do you need to know regarding your love life. So we have 3 piles here with a spool of thread and this really cool crackled, like colorful quartz. So if we can get a, ooh, the the focus on here is rough, but we have this gorgeous like purpley quartz and thread. We have this dark blue quartz and thread, super pretty. And we have this cute pink quartz and thread. Do a little zoomy zoom. to kind of take a closer look at that. And of course, right underneath here, we have our piles that we made in this shuffle. There were definitely a few that tried to pop out. In this particular case for my shuffling, if it flipped completely over, I didn't take it. You'll see one card completely just popped out. I actually didn't even get a chance to read that card. Oh my gosh. Maybe, you know what? This will be interesting to see if it was the lemur. It'll be interesting to see if the lemur pops out. Oh, you know what? I just found it in the deck. The lemur. Tap into your charming and cunning nature. Set out on an adventure that stimulates your senses. So that could be relevant for everybody in regards to love and finding love, just getting back into the scene or reigniting what you already have, or just, you know, relishing in the love surrounding you. But yeah, if the cards completely flipped, I did not take them, but, you know, partial flips, I know a couple did a double flip, kind of, you know, got creative in trying to cover them up so no one saw them, because I usually will just take pop outs. But I'm really excited to get into this. So without further ado, let's jump into, oh, you know what? Leave it to me to do this. I completely forgot. So there is another video that I did with an unboxing for the tea leaf fortune cards that I just got. I've been looking everywhere for them. I wanted them so badly for so long, and I finally just stumbled upon them. And I'm so excited for this. Did a little unboxing. We did a little practice read at the end. It's definitely going to test my video editing skills for sure, but go and check that out if you have not already, so you can kind of, if you're interested in seeing all the cards, because I did go through every single card, and if it's a little fast, feel free to slow that down so you can kind of take a look. I am a fan of like deck reviewing, where they actually, you know, let you see a good bulk of the cards so you can kind of know what to get a feel for the deck before you get it. But that being said, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the pile ones. So if you chose the purple stone and the purple thread, this is going to be a reading for you. Let me actually pull these down a little bit. Sorry if you hear my squeaky chair in the back. I don't have my good, not actually, you know what? Let's switch chairs. Okay, we got the ergonomic chair in the house. Okay, I love this. I get to boost myself up. I know y'all like it. This better be a good reading, listening to her adjust a chair for several minutes. But yeah, hello and welcome, my pile ones. So let's just cut right into business. Let's set the gals over here. Tuck those in the corner. We got our giant hunk of rose quartz here, facilitating that romance energy. So we have our grab bag cards, little like kind of grab bag deck I made. We'll reveal those in just a moment. But first, let's see our Lenormand. Okay, we have the house, home, tradition, safe, stable, and privacy as well. For our tea leaf cards, which we're using for the first time, love it, we have egg. You know what? I got this in the little test reading I did for the unboxing for this. So it's interesting. And this is also the only group to get a month card. So for the month, we have March. And then let's see what our grab bags are. 10th house, social status, career, long-term goals, structure, masculine energy, fame or expertise. And we have the letter K. So that both of those things could be significant. You could have some significant like 10th house synastry with this person, if it is a person, or career, or your just like long-term planning could have something to do with this situation regarding love. And I'm going to try to give different interpretations for singles and non-singles, but it may just be kind of a general message that everybody kind of needs. So I will specify. So for tarot, we have reversed star. Okay. And then for our everything card, we have stable. So we have the house and we have stable coming in again. Interesting, interesting. And then for our crow oracle, play. We have 6 here, the 60. We have 36, which goes to 9. We have the 4, full stability. What is that? 10, 17, so 8 with the star. And then these other 2 cards are advice cards. You got a Moonology card and our Flora and Fauna card. So we're going to save those for just a moment. Pop those right here. So let's take a look. We have our little labradorite palm stone here. Yeah, so you know, before we even get into this, I am going to, as I do with my Crow Oracle, we're going to look at play number 36. And I like to read these because I feel like the association that it gives with the crows can give some, you know, relatable insight into the particular themes of the card. Crows are not always so serious. They enjoy the company of friends and spend time engaging in play. When this card appears, it is time to relax. Exercise your creative mind and maybe your body too, and play. When we give our brain something different to consider, something that brings us joy, they will reward us by being more productive when it comes time to go back to work. In a world where we're constantly consuming information, play asks that you disconnect, allow your brain to create some output. It is during play that our creativity expands. It is during states of play that our minds relax, and out of the blue, we discover the solutions to problems that may have been eluding us. Okay. So in regards to romance, immediately with this 10th house, I'm thinking, and with the egg here, so the first thing I'm getting is that maybe there is a like new career or new business venture, maybe planned or in the process, that you're putting a lot of effort into, and that could be the thing that, if you're single, can create romantic opportunities. Maybe you're getting a new job and you're able to network with new people and you meet somebody, a romantic interest through that. Yeah, March may be significant, but I'm also getting this nod to, you want to be stable, yes, but don't allow your career, like this could be for some people that are allowing their career to take up the space that they would also be utilizing for romance and things like that. You know, it's like you, instead of balancing out, you have your work life, your personal life, romantic life, it's all career, you know, maybe a little bit of self and almost no romantic efforts. So with the eggs, speaking of efforts, you can find something very stable. You can find something that allows you to enjoy and indulge in your more playful side. But play could also be the answer to, if you're blocked, unblocking yourself, or just creating more opportunities if you're at the point of, you know, wanting to get back out there. Maybe going to places that are more creatively stimulating, that are more like fun and just generally enjoyable, you know. That could be a place where you can do a lot of romantic networking, we'll say. But if you've had, sorry, I'm like, I don't know why I feel so out of breath. I feel like I've been running. I feel like my chest is pressed. So maybe there's some sort of like pressure that y'all are experiencing that is not allowing you to, maybe there's like pressures from someone else, even pressures from yourself, that are not allowing you to fully focus, or maybe not even focus, but be vulnerable in those situations. Maybe like this press feels like get like a anxiety, you know what I mean? So maybe there's some anxiety around the possibility of stability in your romantic relationships. But yeah, especially with the 10th house here, I can see, I mean, it could even be that your social status, just the social status you have, whether, you know, regardless of what that is, your infamy, so to speak, creates barriers around who you can connect with or how you connect with people. So that could be for some of you the case. Is just maybe you're the boss of a company of some sort. So all the people that you network with are all like um, subordinates of you. So it's just you don't want to even cross those wires. So it could be that you need to move away from trying to find people within your work or work relationships and focus on your leisure, your play, and try to connect with people through that, so you have something outside of work that relates the two of you. um yeah. But we have the double stability. So whatever, and 6 and 4, 10, the one, the new beginning, or the completion, 10 to the 1. It could be, you know what, actually, the thought just completely erased from my mind. We have not talked about the reverse star. So the star is usually dreams, wishes. As I said that, it feels like maybe this is something that you've been wishing for, hoping for. I keep seeing just like somebody that's very career oriented, goal oriented, that if you saw them from the outside, you'd think that like work was their whole thing, like they loved their job, they weren't concerned about anything else. Like romance was just not, they didn't have time for that. They're like really throwing everything into their work, but really they do want to have those meaningful romantic connections. Yeah. So perhaps this is like this wish that you feel like is not going to be fulfilled. And I think thinking that it won't happen is creating this self-fulfilling prophecy. Give me 1 second. I'm going to, I have my like, it's like a pile of all of my like notes and paperwork. Yeah. So there could just be, looking at this 10th house. And I'm thinking of 10th degree with Capricorn. But yeah, it feels like this thing that you feel like you'll never be able to have that stability. You'll never be able to have that, true, like, not even true passion. It doesn't even feel that far. It's just getting to the point where you feel like you can even have time to look for relationships, even the most basic level, not even at the, finding your true love, just being able to find time to go on dates, to find people to talk to do that. But you really have to carve out time. Success assured with good plans and hard work. That doesn't just apply to career things, self-development things. That also applies to your romantic life as well. Like you have to be willing to put in the effort towards making that dream come true. And part of that is believing that it's possible that it will happen in the first place. And it's easy to lose faith if maybe like it's been a dry spell or it's been a long time since you've been able to do that. But don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in, oh, it's been so long and time doesn't mean anything. That's just a personal thing for me. But like, really believe that you can have the stability that you want. You can have the, opportunities for freedom of expression, for play, for fun, for joy that you want. So don't feel like that's an impossibility. It may require some balance. It may require, even getting into that, let's just pop open these advice cards. I don't know why I feel, oh God, out of breath. I feel so out of breath. I don't know. I have this Venus incense burning here. I don't know if it's just that or what. It's still going. I thought it would have gone out by now, but mucha. But let's take a look. We have fire salamander, clear blockages. Clear blockages. You are undergoing a necessary transformation. Cleanse all areas of your life to restore balance. So we're mentioning clearing blockages, lack of belief in dreams or lack of faith, but also balance, restoring balance in your life and your priorities as well. So just evaluating how much energy you're putting into these different aspects of your life. We also have gibbous moon, where you're very close to achieving your goal. So this is, I mean, we have the egg here as well. So this is giving me good vibes. You know, this is a good outlook. So I'm feeling like release that breath. Don't be so anxious, you know, just deep breathe. Maybe it's important for you to do some deep breathing, some exercise around energy clearing, using like sage, maybe a spiritual bath, something to just clear that. Maybe something in the heart chakra as well. I would love to get some chakra cards so that I can use those as well. But yeah, maybe something in the heart chakra needs to be unblocked. Could be like a ice wall you've built around there. You got to melt that down first. But as a matter of fact, let me grab our Moonology and see what kind of extra advice they have for us for this gibbous moon. Where's our gibbous? Where's our gibbous? Where is our gibbous? Here we are. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so the gibbous, bulging with possibility. The gibbous is filling in. So this is like the point at which the 9, you know, going into the 10, to the full moon, to the full culmination of your wishes, your dreams. So this is, you know, whatever your fears are, know that I don't want to say, you know, believe that, oh, you know, my Prince Charming will come and everything will work out and everything will be fine. And, you know, by March, I'm going to you know, don't think of it in that terms. This is more about, because I don't like to approach things, even in a love reading, in terms of like needing to be with someone to feel complete. But this is purely about, you know, wanting to have that companionship, knowing that you're ready for that companionship, or even if you are not sure if you're ready for that companionship, but like working on your ability to be vulnerable with other people, working on how you show up to your relationships, and working on creating opportunities to have those connections, I think is the most important thing here. Making sure that you are preparing yourself for whatever may enter your life, whatever opportunities you create for yourself for romantic connections. You want to be ready to, you know, take those on if they're for you, if they're healthy for you, if they're, you know, what you want, what you need, and to have firm enough boundaries with yourself to know when it's not something that's going to be good for you. But don't think that it's not possible. Even if it takes a long time, it's not impossible. It does require work and effort. But this is you know, very promising. You're there. You're almost there. Don't give up now because it's not turning out how you want to. Just don't give up. Let go. You know what I mean? Like, don't give up on this dream. Let go of the expectations around it and just focus on building yourself, preparing yourself, and, you know, living in the present, because it'll really pop up when you least expect it, assuredly. But let's see. And just as I say that, I look right back down to the book, and the first thing I see on this page for the gibbous moon is don't push too hard. Now is a good time to review your plans. Keep the momentum going as you move towards your dreams. Stay focused. It's a good time to start a new project. You need to get back into good health habits. So that could be another thing as far as balance is. You could be neglecting different parts of your health, your body, because of, you know, your work, your career, just like focusing on all these other things. It goes back around to like taking care of yourself first before you're worried about anybody else. You know, because you can't help anybody else, you can't connect with anybody else meaningfully if you're not where you need to be as much as you can, you know. So take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves well. And then attuning to the moon, I know that I am on the right track. So that could be a helpful affirmation to give yourself when you feel like you're kind of doubting yourself or you're not sure what the next step is going to be. I know I am on the right track. Awesome. You know what? I really love that reading. I'm really excited for you, pile one. Don't give up. Keep nurturing yourself. And I'm really excited to see how the next few months unfold for you. That March card, look out for March. That could be a significant month. That could be a month where you meet somebody new, or a month where you really have like maybe an epiphany in yourself that helps to open you up to more forward growth in your romantic life. So thanks for hanging out. I will see you at the next reading, and I hope you enjoyed. Hey, and welcome, pile number twos. If you chose the blue spool of thread or this blue crackled quartz, welcome to your reading. Welcome to your pile. Got a neat little pile here. We're gonna tuck these to the side. I've switched to a less squeaky chair for when I waddle and dawdle. So we have a few cards here. We have first our Lenormand. Ooh, sorry, knocking cameras and stuff. The fish, wealth, abundance, business, financial value, finances, and values. Sorry, financial values as well. It speaks a lot of abundance, plenty of fish in the sea sort of thing. So we have our tea leaf cards. Take a look at those. We have the whale, great worry over nothing, and not unsuccessful plans. So something tangled up or not going as smooth as you want, getting tied up in some area. And then we have our kind of grab bag cards. We have the letter P. Oh, the other group got a letter as well. Interesting. The other group also got, at least one other group got a house and a letter specifically. And I have in this container, I have houses, letters, zodiac signs, planets, dates. Like there's so many other things in here. So two groups out of three so far at least have a house and a letter specifically. So we have the letter P, and we have the second house, money, work, income, possessions, which we have the fish, abundance, and the second house. Those are very hand in hand. This 34 goes down to 7. I think of like the 777, jackpot sort of thing. So let's dig into the rest of these. I always feel like I try to talk so fast, so I'm going to try to like talk more deliberately. So we have these two cards. These are going to be our advice cards, so we're going to save these for the end. Boom, boom. Took those up there. So for our tarot card, we have reverse the moon. This is interesting. Okay. And we have number 14 with distance. Okay. And then we have this is the one. This is interesting. Okay. I have my little labradorite. This is interesting. I actually do want to pull some accompanying cards. But first I'm going to read this distance card because I'm getting some kind of, I don't know if this is like a conflicting message, like a message for, maybe this group is split into two. But first we're going to read our Urban Crow, number 14, with distance. To get the lay of the land, sometimes you need to take a look from a distance. Distance indicates that you would be best served by taking a step back so that you can see the big picture. You may be focusing too narrowly on one area, while there's a whole world out there to explore. You may need to consider if growth within a situation or a relationship is at risk of being stunted due to being overcritical or nitpicky. Are you able to see the potential even if there are a few flaws? Of course, you might find distance appears when you're too focused on one positive aspect of a situation or event while missing all the negative outcome that may potentially exist. Distance asks if you're too close to a situation to remain impartial or unbiased. So I have an immediate thought. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So I'll finish this last sentence. You might benefit from taking a leave of absence or literally putting some distance between you and the situation by taking a trip. Okay, so I'm like, I got a very quick kind of download here. So this seems so specific to me, but this could be a situation where maybe you are crushing on someone. You have an idea of the type of relationship you want, or maybe there's somebody or something that is idealized for you. Maybe someone that you're crushing on, you just can't like get over that, or like you really like, that's the one I want to be with, nobody else. You're really tied to the idea of that. But it may not be where you're meant to go, and maybe more than that, just not how it's meant to be. Whatever you're idealizing, or the romantic ideals that you have in your head, may not be in actuality what makes you happiest, or what ends up happening. With this distance card particularly, got this very strong feeling of like really pining after someone, and just needing to create distance between this person you're pining after, because like maybe they aren't available, or they're not ready for that type of, because with the fish, I think of like, I said that very offhand, but lots of fish in the sea. But conversely, this could be a situation that you're really worried over, that whether this person, like this very feeling very crush like, but you're worried about this person liking you back, or whether those feelings are reciprocated. But it's fine, it'll be fine. So it feels like it kind of shoots two ways, and this is going to take some self-evaluation, or more than that, just with this reverse moon here, clearing out any obfuscation, clearing out any confusion, any illusions, anything like that, whether it is illusions that it'll never happen, or illusions that it will, when you know it's not healthy for you. So I know it feels very like sorry, I'm getting so tongue twisted. There's so many, feels like two different things happening at the same time, and they kind of just fork to the side. So this is feeling like a situation where either this is somebody that you are pining after, and you're not sure if it's going to work, or and that's the basis of it, and either it's going to work out fine, you don't need to be worrying about it, or you don't need to be worrying about it because it's not something that you should be spending your energy on, like it's not worth your energy. Now, differentiating between the two, knowing whether you're I need to move away from this. The distance is really giving me that feeling, the feeling of like this being someone that you need to move away from. But at the same token, if it is somebody that, if this is a all go, like if you're on the path of like evaluating this and this is all go, I think all of that can be found out through distance, through creating distance from this person, so that you can better evaluate whether this is something healthy or not, whether this is someone you actually want to be with or not. Again, none of the rose tinted glasses, clearing away all of the, the sheer over your eyes, creating distance, not being so in the middle of the situation long enough to really reset yourself, get back to self, and figure out whether this is something that you are actually, really into, whether this is someone that is like, this person's healthy for me, we're really compatible, this isn't just a matter of us being around each other all the time, and like perhaps this is somebody that you do work with, but yeah, with the business in the second house, this could be somebody that you work with, and this could be a, you know, it could be very well be a work crush, you know what I mean? And you're not sure if it's something that you should pursue or not, but I think this, everything I've said feels very confusing, but it is kind of how it feels. So far, I've done the first reading, and that had its own sort of energy. And the energy for this is definitely like jumbled in knots, tongue-tied. Oh my gosh, yeah. So the knot has been staring me in the face. Tongue-tied, just like jumbled. Maybe it is that you tried to approach this person actually, and you got tongue-tied, or you confessing or opening up to this person didn't go how you thought it was, or maybe you don't think it'll go how you hope it will go. But again, just take distance. Taking distance can really help for evaluating, like, is this something or someone I really want to put my energy into or not. But it also gives you the chance to kind of slow down and figure out how is it that I'm going to, you know, approach this person. You know, if it is someone you work with, you might have to consider, like, do I want to start a relationship with someone that I'm in a professional relationship with? That could be something that's really keeping you up at night, is like, I really like this person, but I don't know how kosher it is for me to be involved with somebody that I'm working with. And in that case, this distance card could be in terms of like creating professional distance between you before you pursue that. But it's great worry over nothing. So whatever it is that you're worried about, it is not something that you need to press yourself over. With it, like, this is the one, great worry over nothing. Those are giving me like, it's giving me like a hint of, I want to say it's a hint of success, or at least like positive outcomes. But those positive outcomes aren't always going to be great in the moment. Like, for the most part, I feel like for most people, this could be something where this doesn't feel cleanly positive or negative, we'll say. It is very perspective based. Like, if this is somebody that you know, took some distance and realized, ooh, this was, I don't know where my head was at, this was not the person that I thought it was going to be, then this is you know, that worry didn't matter, because this isn't even somebody that you should have been concerned over. Conversely, with this is the one as well, if you get that distance and, you know, that clarity, that self-evaluation, evaluation of the situation, realize, like, yes, like, this is the person, like, I'm really interested in them, you know, this is how I kind of plan to open this up, or these are my next steps as far as that goes, then I don't think that you need to be so worried about the outcome of that still. It feels like, I know this feels like such a loosey-goosey sort of, I hope you're understanding kind of how I'm saying this, because it feels like it's all over the place, but it feels like these two paths that are kind of converging, serpentining, bubbling out, getting closer, like they're very similar paths. So this group could definitely be split in two. You might even want to maybe watch one of the other piles, or if you're someone that watches multiple readings, you may get some confirmations of that. But even aside from that, again, the most important thing here is to just get some distance, remove yourself from the situation, so you're not like immediately colored by being in the experience, and evaluate what it is that you want to do next. Overall, like, really emphasizing clearing out any, you know, don't lie to yourself, take the rose colored glasses off. Yeah, you know what, I'm like very tempted to get clarifiers here, so let's which one are we gonna grab from? I actually want to, I don't even, there's such a, and you know what, maybe that's what it is, because this is just such a indecisive energy. Like, I don't really know what to say, what to do, I don't really know this, that, and the other. So maybe it is just that you are indecisive about what it is you want to do next. about whether or not you want to. Maybe you don't even know if this person is good for you or not. You're not even sure if this is someone that you should be approaching, if you should be opening up, or if you should be getting out there, whatever the case may be. This could just be indecision in terms of like, I don't really know. I don't really know if I want to do this or that. Or, and again, just slowing down, kind of removing yourself, looking at the situation objectively may help to give you a better understanding, or at least quell some of your worries. If you're like just assuming all these things in your head, it really allows your brain to just create all of these possibilities. And when we're really worried about something, 9 times out of 10, those possibilities are going to be really suckish. So, you know what? I'm going to actually get another, because our tea leaf cards are new, let's grab another tea leaf card just to clarify. So for pile 2, what is the state of this romantic energy right now? Can we get some clarifiers for pile 2 as far as the state of the romantic energy right now? Flute. Oof. Okay. Okay. Sometimes it'd be like that, and I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it and like, oh, it means that, maybe. No. You say what I said. That's what we got. Again, this is you have free will, so take what I'm saying with a grain. But I mean, this is feeling like something that maybe you already knew. Ooh, okay. I pulled another card and I considered not putting it down there, but I'm gonna put it down here. This may be relevant for somebody. The cup. You should accept valid criticism. So, put these kind of, how can we, maybe put them like that, yeah. So, we have disappointment in a friend or lover. So, it could be that, that maybe some prospects that you had were not what you thought it was going to be. With it, this is the one. And this doesn't have to be necessarily saying that, that person's the one. You may be focusing and attaching to that. Maybe it is that you think that this person is the one and you're focusing all of your energy on this is the only person. Like I feel like I said that at the beginning of the reading as well. It's this is the person. This has got to be this person. And perhaps you believe that that's the case, but once all of this clarity is had, once the clouds move away and you can see everything for what it is, you realize maybe it's not what you thought it was going to be. Maybe there's some disappointment as far as this goes. I have a very specific thought, and this is something that's kind of I don't want to say a turn off, but it's just something that I always think about when I have a crush on somebody that I work with, and then I actually work with them, and it's just like, you're making this harder for the team. Your work ethic is not great. Like this is not good. Like the way that you work tells me a lot about your disposition, and I'm not loving it. So that could be something that happens as you could be really tied to this person, or really just tied to the idea of this person, and then you kind of see what's underneath that, and there could be some disappointment regarding that, which again, this plan to have that person unsuccessful, but all the worrying that you were doing, it may not be even something you need to put a lot of energy into. So you could take that distance and kind of see, was all of the energy I'm putting into this, like, what is this person worth me expending all of that energy? I hear my dog jingling on the stairs, so confirmation for anybody. And then we have the cup. You should accept valid criticism. I can hear my dog fussing at me. Sorry about that. You should accept valid criticism. So this could be one of two things. The two things I'm hearing very loudly are either this person is unable to take criticism very well. Um, or maybe you're correcting, like, again, if this, in the situation that this is like a work acquaintance or something like that, maybe you give them some valid criticism, or some just something to improve their work ethic or how they're doing the job, or whatever it may be. It could be something completely innocuous and offhand, and they can't accept that. Or stronger than that, a little louder than that, what I'm hearing, this could be a cold bucket of ice for a few people. Disappointment in the, I'm actually going to even move these over. Disappointment in a friend or lover, and then you should accept valid criticism. I mean, this could be about you. It could be about you not being able to take valid perspectives about the person that you're kind of tied up over, because you have not created distance. Like, there's two, you're too in the mix, you're too lost in the sauce. And you may have people telling you, like, hey, like, you really don't need to be giving that energy, move away from, like, just dead it, and you are not hearing it. And maybe you're upset at your friends, or maybe there's some sort of tension in your friendships because they are telling you that you should stop putting effort into someone that you feel is the one. Like, that is, this is the one. But it may be that what they're trying to tell you is valid, and that doesn't mean just listen to people willy-nilly, not have your own thoughts or considerations for everything. Do what is going to make you most contented. If pursuing someone, regardless of what other people say, is what you want to do that. Just make sure you understand, the consequences regardless. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. You may have some I told you so friends, but regardless of the situation, like, you're making those choices for you. I think, again, distance is really going to help you to self-evaluate and figure out what decision you need to make, or if the effort you're putting in, the worry you're putting in, is worth it. If this person or the situation is worth putting in that effort. Ooh, yes. These have been some good readings. And it's not always cherries and berries, but this is good information. Somebody may need to hear this. It may be something that they really don't want to have to face themselves, but having a complete stranger tell you the same thing will kind of reaffirm that. But again, make the decisions you want to make. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm here to facilitate self-reflection and asking the questions that you might not have asked yourself, or that you might not have wanted to ask yourself because you don't want to have to face the possible answers. So for your advice cards, we have the Tarantula, Cosmic Connections. Trying to get a focus, sorry y'all. Use your intuition. All things are connected, so be more aware of your surroundings. Don't get lazy. Work while you wait. Okay. Okay. Look at the bigger picture. So together with this, we have be more aware of your surroundings, looking at the bigger picture, working while you wait. Those are the three things that stood out the most to me. So again, getting distance, zooming out, looking at the bigger picture of the entire situation. And while you're this, like, don't get lazy, work while you wait. The thought that came to my mind when I read that is, like, while you're I don't want to say waiting around for this person, because I don't want you to do that. You should just focus. It's exactly that. I don't want you waiting around for somebody in the time where things are not solidified for your romantic relationships, or like you're pining after something, whatever the case may be. You always have time to work on yourself in the in-betweens. You always have time to focus on yourself, creating distance, going into self, creating distance between self and ego, or just like moving away from a situation and going inward into yourself, and not being stuck in the outward with this person or situation. That can help you, again, to determine what it is that you should use next. There may be something that it could be something that's on your spirit already. So, don't ignore that. You want to, like, explore that. Why am I having this thought? Why am I feeling this way? What are, should I have discussion so I can figure these things out? Maybe you're like crushing on this person, you don't know they're with someone else the entire time, and you just assume they're single, and it turns out that they're with someone. Like, it could be any number of things, but looking at the bigger picture, being aware of your surroundings, gaining distance in this situation, moving away from this situation. Maybe you have, even, I'm hearing like someone's like stringing you along, someone that's like, situationship. You know what I mean? Like, you have this situationship, and people are telling you like, I don't know about this, like, this doesn't seem to be benefiting you. This isn't obviously what, this may not be what you want, or you're maybe not getting what you want from this, but you're too stuck in that connection to even be able to consider anything like outside of that. You know what I mean? You could get really attached to like, but this person, I've spent so much, time and energy and effort in this person, but was that worthwhile, or could that be spent somewhere else more valuable? So right before we get to our end for this, we're going to take a look at the Moonology card for full moon in Sagittarius. And the full moon is the culminator, the manifester, when things realize, and the cycle resets itself, and you can start the process of removing, getting rid of, things have kind of culminated, it's full, and you can start to, like, everything is on the table is kind of what I'm seeing. It's like the full moon, you get the big plate, everything's on the table, so you can see everything. You can see all the different portions of food, and you can scrape off the things you don't need, eat the things that you want to. So we have this talks about like fretting over details, and kind of being stuck in your head and not really saying or doing anything to further the situation. There may be some like communication, outright communication you need to have in order to clarify what's going on there, especially if you're in a situation, just have those conversations, and whatever information you get, take that. You know what I mean? Like, if they're not giving you what you need to give, you need to consider what you're going to do in that case. If you're going to continue on with that not being unfulfilled, or if you're going to put your energy elsewhere, be prepared for having the conversations you need to have to get the answers that you need, and be prepared for acting in accordance with the information that you get. Let's see. Keeping an open mind. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win the day. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. Take time out for a mini break or adventure, is how you can attune to this moon. So yeah, again, the mini break, the adventure mentioned in this distance card, taking a trip, going somewhere else. Even if you're like, in a proper relationship, maybe you're having doubts, maybe you're unsure of certain things, whatever they may be. Maybe there is some important conversations you want to have. Maybe you just need to take a trip, go somewhere else, have some private time where you can evaluate these things, and again, figure out what it is you want to say, how you're going to say it. Just kind of plan for the interaction, plan for this interaction that's meant to clarify. Even if it doesn't give you the answers, the specific answers to the questions that you have, it will clarify something. Even if it's like, if you're not getting the answers you want, that in itself is the answer. You know what I mean? That information will give you some answer in yourself as to what you really want to do next. So listen to your intuition. Like, if you ask them, like, if you're ready for commitment, like, would you get married? Would you blah, blah, blah? And you want to do those things and they're real dodgy about it. Maybe they don't even answer the question, or they give you like a non-answer. That's still an answer. Listen to your intuition and listen to what that tells you. And if you're okay with that, you may need to have further discussion to clarify those things. And if it's like not on the same page, what does that tell you? What are you gathering from that? And take some distance, some space to really think about and consider those things and figure out what it is you want to do next. Thank you for chilling with me. This reading was a little longer than I was expecting it to be, but thanks for hanging out. I hope that this was really helpful. Take some time to meditate, to center yourself, go into a place of nature where you feel most comfortable, most clear, and just like think about it outside of the situation. Give yourself some breathing room, and once you have that breathing room, you'll really be able to slow down and consider all your options, all the circumstances, and figure out how you want to move forward. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time at the next reading. Hello and welcome, pile threes. If you chose the pink thread, this like pink crystal quartz, it's all crackly, so cool, love these. Then this is going to be your reading. We've had some really interesting and very specific readings. So far each of the readings has had its own like energy. So I'm interested to see what the energy coming here is, but without further ado, let's just dip right into it. Roll my sleeves up. Got a rose quartz here. Oh, you know what? Missing one thing. Where is? I have a little labradorite. You know what? Maybe it's not needed for this. Let's just go with it. Have this quartz, clear quartz instead. So, let's flip these over. So, let's start with our Lenormand. We're just going to do one today. The snake. Desire, deception, sexuality, betrayal, forbidden knowledge, craving. So, snake isn't just like deceptive, Adam and Eve sort of thing, forbidden knowledge, forbidden fruit. It could also just be sensuality, sexuality. It could be, let's not even get too much into that. Let's get the rest of these cards out so we can get a whole picture. So I could say with just that, but we have the claw. Be careful. Do not take risks. And the scales. Keep your life in balance. Got our two little grab bag cards, 18 or the 18th. What is this? Is this also the star card as well? But you got in another reading. And an E. Everyone's got an initial. Yours will be E. Let's look at your tarot card. You know what? Maybe it was meant to do that. All the other ones I turned like this, but I think this was meant to be upright. So we're going to take it upright. Our everything card. Ooh, addiction and codependency. Okay. And then two of these are going to be advice cards. So we're going to put these to the side. Kind of tuck those under there. And then anticipation. So Okay, so I kind of have a very specific thought in my head, but I'm going to, as with other groups, we're going to read number 3, anticipation. Oh, and that's interesting. We have 7 and a 3 with a 10, and we have the 4 and 6 with a 10. Interesting. Number 3, anticipation. Each morning when I wake up, there's a crow outside my window on the street lamp, anticipating the arrival of a meal. Perhaps I trained the crow, or maybe it was the other way around. When there is a pattern, we begin to expect a particular outcome. Anticipation brings hope and butterflies in the belly as we expect something to happen that brings joy or satisfaction. There is but one warning. Be careful of any attachments held for the desired outcome. If what you receive falls short of expectations, the feeling of joy can transform into disappointment. What are you looking forward to at this moment? How will you adjust if your expectations are not met? Okay. Ooh. Some real words. Okay. So there could be someone who has some issues with addiction or codependency, maybe in regards to like, maybe you're serial monogamous, you know, you're constantly in relationships, or just, you know, you're caught up in the non-committal, just, yeah, I'm just one night stand it, not really, even if I want connection, not really gonna put too much into the connection. So there could be some issue with, I'm like, I wasn't gonna mention it, but I keep getting this message in my head over and over and over again, having to do with sex addiction, specifically with the snake, the addiction codependency of the Ace of Wands, lots of energy, lots of potential for acting. And also, if you're reading like 18 plus sort of things, you know, you can imagine what that is akin to. So, yeah, there could be some risk taking here because of that, or involved with that, like taking lots of perhaps romantic or sexual risks due to the need to always be connected to someone. And maybe there needs to be some balance between, you know, how much energy you, this is interesting because I've gotten similar messages but different, you know, highlights in other readings. But yeah, you know what, since we just got this 18 here and the other ones, they got a little bit more descriptive, I'm gonna add another grab bag here. Ooh, Virgo, Earth, mutable, Mercury, Chiron, 6 degrees, 18 degrees. As I read it, and look, Virgo, the 18 degrees, the number 18 as well. Interesting. So, the person you're dealing with could be a Virgo, could be another Earth sign. You have that Hermit card energy as well. Yeah, there may be just like maybe it's something that you want very badly and you're putting a lot of effort into trying to get that at any means. Like, I just want to, you know, be with someone, so I'm, you know, skipping the vetting processes, not really like taking a moment to slow down and consider, are you compatible, is this the person, like falling fast type of thing. You know, you're like dating for a few weeks and then you're already moving in together. That's the sort of thing that you want to be careful of, is quick attachment without any like consideration for the compatibility. Virgo, combing the fine details, like really being detail oriented in terms of potentials, and not just sort of like taking the, you know, whoever you meet first, just because you're, you know, anxious, like anticipating for that to happen, just waiting for that to happen. Maybe you act in a specific way. This is kind of coming from somewhere. So you act in a specific way and you expect a certain outcome based on how you act, but that may not be the case all the time. You know, you have to be prepared for, you know, maybe whatever methods that you would normally use, or perhaps you're used to taking really big risks and, you know, everything working out for you, but maybe you want to take it a little bit slower or leverage your expectations. You know, I'm hearing like those same tricks may not work on different people. And it doesn't have to be like negative tricks. It's mostly a feeling of like, you know, the way you pick up people, the way you approach people, you may not be able to, maybe you put on a facade here. Maybe you put on a facade. And that mask has always worked for you, but it's not always going to work the way that it has necessarily, or at least you need to be prepared for that not working on everyone, or, you know, everyone you meet. I'm really curious. I'm gonna get another tea. I'm doing like clarifying as needed. We have the frying pan, trouble or accusations. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So some sort of trouble or accusations related to perhaps some sort of addiction or codependency, some sort of deception around that. Maybe you're expending your energy elsewhere, in whatever fashion that takes. Or maybe it may, something that someone's accusing you of if you're not actually doing that. This is crazy. There's a reading that I wasn't going to post because it was intense. Like it was for somebody, but I may post at it, pick a card at another time. It was just like, I want some, good lovey-dovey romance energy. Like it's almost Valentine's Day. Let's do something like that. It was suggested a lot. But one of the piles that I did before this, the message that came through, and I think even I did another reading before, the test reading before that ended up too long. The same thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, this is the third reading where I've gotten these messages about somebody being possibly unfaithful or taking a risk or kind of having their like eyes, how do you say, eyes kind of looking outside of the relationship, or like looking for that spark or something. I even like, I watched a random reading by another tarot reader. I didn't like, maybe, I don't even remember who it was. It was just like, in the algorithm, like randomly stumbled on this reading, and it was mentioning similar themes, and like a pile that wasn't even mine. For some reason, I was going through that video and I like watched all three of them because like I wasn't really, feeling attached to any of them, but I was like, oh, let me go through all three and see which one. One of the piles was talking about that. So like, not saying this is you, not, again, we have trouble, accusations. So if this is somebody that you suspect is doing that, that could be why this is popping up here. But you could be, or someone else could be looking to, or have been considering taking risks. And maybe there's, maybe something having to do with like a lack of balance in the areas of focus in life. Like maybe that person is like not paying it as much attention because they have work or something else, and the other person in the relationship is, frustrated because of that, and they start to get curious, we'll say. Again, this doesn't have to be you. This may not apply to you, but this message is for someone, I think. Because the number of times where something of this like specific orientation of like, if you're thinking about it, don't. You know what I mean? And again, this very specific, but this could have to do with maybe a addiction or some codependency issues around intimacy, around sex and sexuality, things like that. So if you are feeling like you are possibly going to take a risk that could have disastrous results, I feel like 9 times out of 10, especially in infidelity situations, communication is the easiest thing to do. Just talk to the person. Like if you need more attention, if you need more, like we'll say sexual attention, even like whatever it may be, whatever the issues are, talking to each other directly is the best way to find out how you either move forward or go where you need to go to have what you need, we'll say. But again, so I'm going to pull your advice cards. What do we like on time? Okay, yeah, let's pull your advice cards. This is really interesting. This anticipation card. Yeah, so maybe you... Ooh, yeah, I'm like, oh. Not great. But this may not be for everybody. This could very well just as easily be someone that is consistently needing to be wrapped up in relationship, like searching for relationships and needing to just kind of leverage their expectations as far as what they're getting into, maybe there's, again, like a tendency to fall very quickly without really seeing who that person is, or having an idealization in your head and expecting it to be like that. I'm also getting like maybe you have a tendency of attracting like a specific type of person that can be very deceptive, or like puts on one face when you meet them, and then later on in the relationship it's a completely different type of person. Yeah, let's you know what, actually, before I even do this will be I think this might be the only pile where I got a clarifying tarot. So let's see. Ooh. Oh, this is interesting. Page of Pentacles reversed. Okay, Page of Pentacles reversed. Okay, I got an immediate thought, but give me 1 second. Okay, so I had a thought. So I thought, you know what, let me, I have just, this is like a book from a completely different deck. So it's like, oh, you know what, let me pop into here and let me see if there's, anything particular that needs to be heard. So like Pentacles, this is not necessarily what I would think too much about in a love reading. We normally associate Pentacles very strongly with money and things like that, but it's also just material world, or reality. But this stuck out. It's time to ask yourself if your enthusiasm has waned, or does your desire require more dedication than you're willing to give? Of all the things to pick up and look at, yeah, that's very much kind of doubling down on the being in a situation where you're kind of losing interest, or maybe you're not getting what you need, and having to evaluate whether you want to continue staying in that or not. Or what I really love about that is specifically the question at the end. Is this something that you're not putting enough effort into? Like, are you or the person that is involved doing the bare minimum to, the bare minimum of what it means to, be in a relationship or in a romantic interaction with somebody? This could be a situationship. This could very well be a whole, already, fully together, committed. This could be, you're in the dating stages and you're still trying to talk to each other, but like, are you, or is the other person someone that is just not putting in the amount of work that they need to be in that relationship to get the benefits that they want? Or is somebody in this inner, as I mentioned before, each of these readings has had a really different kind of energy, and this energy is very like deliberate. It feels very like slow and deliberate, and like, yeah, it's like a kind of sitting someone down and putting a hand on each of their shoulders and just looking them in the eye and just like, be honest with yourself. If you're not interested anymore, if the person's not interested anymore, evaluate the next step so that you're not in a situation where you're not getting what you need. No one's getting what you need. Everyone's miserable. Or are you putting in the amount of effort for the amount of commitment that you want, or that you expect, or even that the other person expects? Or if they expect a different amount than you, how are you rectifying that? Or are you just forcing yourself to have less than, or not at all what you actually want? Wow, okay. Yeah, that was very specific. Yeah, the way that I would usually read this, if, yeah, it felt, That's so odd. I'm not even using this tarot deck, and I happen to just have, show you, I just had this sitting on a desk near me, and I was like, oh, you know what, I wonder what this says specifically, because I actually really like the interpretations in this particular book. I really like how they are presented, and how it ties in the imagery of the cards into the meaning. But those two specific lines, I'm going to read. I feel like I gotta run that back, just because I feel like the number of times I've gotten this same message, someone needs to hear it and like really sit with it. It's time to ask yourself if your enthusiasm has waned, or does your desire require more dedication than you're willing to give. And that can also apply too to if somebody's having some issues with like their relationship to sex and intimacy, and whether they're engaging in a way that is healthy and fulfilling for themselves and for others. Okay, let's take a look, because we've been going on and on. I want to make sure I don't go too far, to go too long. Here are our advice cards. So for the first one, the red jungle fowl, faith. Rise and shine. The past is behind you. Reflect on the lessons you've learned and embrace your bright future. I mean, especially in the case of you already making that mistake, or having maybe made that mistake in the past, or in the future. Take that as a lesson going forward of what to do or not to do, what the possible outcome could be. And again, leveraging your expectations just based on what you expect to happen and what actually will happen. You don't ever 100% know. Anyone can do anything. We all have free will. So even if someone says it's going to be this, that, or the other, anyone can always change their mind and do the exact opposite, And then we also have full moon in Libra. A win-win outcome is forecast. And when I see that, I immediately think of, like, I don't want to say cutting your losses. That sounds so harsh. I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, sometimes when I channel, it's like I always ask for, like, give me straight, clear, to the point, like, and that's what I get. And when I saw this, I immediately thought, like, evaluating this, coming to terms with this, having conversation and communicating with, like this, the balance, the diplomacy. We have the scales twice here. So finding balance, whether that be in a situation or with the person that provides you with the right amount of things that you need, or providing, if the give and take is uneven, or if the amount of effort people in this relationship are putting in is uneven, getting to a point where you can equalize that, where you can balance that out, where everyone is putting in the effort to make the relationship work, or they're having the discussion about, how they need to divide themselves so that they can achieve or have what they want or need. So yeah, that balance could be, coming to terms with how much how much work you need to actually be doing to make the relationship sustain, to keep your attention, or keep their attention, or whatever that may be, or knowing when to say, you know what, this is not for me. Like, if somebody is fully just stepping out on you, cheating on you, that's a game breaker. Personally, not everybody's like that, and that's a, no tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. I've accepted a lot of real stupid shit from people in relationships, so I am the last person that's going to judge anybody for whatever they do. More than anything, my concern is that you are happy, healthy, contented, and are receiving what you need to receive, and that in the relationship you're able to honestly and openly communicate your needs, and you either have them met, compromise on it, or you figure out a situation elsewhere if need be to get those things. So everything else, do you, but really be honest with yourself about if you're that person that's not getting what they want, they're thinking about going somewhere else, talk to your partner and tell them that, or at least like talk to them about what it is that you need more or less of. If this person is stepping out already, or you've already stepped out, you need to be very upfront with that, what you need, maybe what you didn't get, or whatever you want to communicate. But like, if you are the person that cheated, do not expect the person to take you back. Like, you may have been, oh, okay. If you have cheated on your spouse and there's a cycle of you stepping out on that person over and over and over and over again, not putting in the effort to maintain the trust, and I'm assuming monogamy for most people, but not even exclusive to that, because cheating happens in polyamorous relationships as well. It's all about how much you're communicating. That is the biggest difference, is what you're communicating, how much of that you're communicating, how clearly you're communicating to that. Is everyone on the same page? Or expectations the same? But if you have already done it, or you have a pattern of doing this perhaps, and maybe you're always, they always take you back, they always bop, 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 bop. This anticipation card, it may not, you really have to understand that if you're thinking about doing this, or you've done it before, you're thinking about doing it again, like, it may not turn out how you think. They may not take you back. You know what I mean? Like, they may not react the same way that they have been reacting. You get a last straw situation. And, if whatever happens, know that it's going to be for the better. Even if it's just like, even if it is a separation, that is a moment for you to reevaluate, for them to reevaluate whether you're the person that was not getting, or you're the person that's stepping out, whatever the situation. That space, or whatever is created from that, is growth. As long as you're communicating those things, like, all of those moments are moments to learn about yourself. Use those lessons to learn about yourself, how you operate in a relationship, what you want, what you don't want, how to build your boundaries more effectively. Like, whatever that is, it's still a win-win. You still be able to take something from that to improve whatever next relationship you're in, whatever relationship you're currently in, after you get through this, whatever this period of difficulty may be. But yeah, that was sorry guys, this is why for some reason I've been holding this labradorite for all the other readings, and I couldn't find the labradorite. All I had was this chunk of crystal quartz, and right beforehand I was holding a bunch of like black tourmaline and obsidian, and just like, I have an obsidian in my pocket right now. I just dropped a tiny one on the floor, but maybe that's why we needed this, is just clear the air, clear that energy. But yeah, this may not be for everybody. And this, again, this doesn't have to just be an infidelity thing. This could very much just be maybe like a general non-committalness, or maybe there's some other like codependent cycles that you might be in, that are affecting the relationships you're having going forward, or affecting how you're interacting in your relationships. But regardless of the situation, communication, I feel like I have to stress over and over again. Just talk candidly with people. People are not used to doing that, and that's okay. But it is something you can learn, is to just, with grace, with discretion, speak very candidly, very vulnerably with other people. Just, even if you're not at the vulnerability stage, just being able to like say exactly what it is, objective, like this, I need more of this, blah, 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 blah. And just being able to accept whatever the person can or cannot give you. You know what I mean? Everyone's not for everyone, and that's absolutely okay. Because you will find someone for you, and if nothing else, you have you at the very least. So that was a little bit of a lot, but y'all got this. I have faith in you. Work on your communication, work on expressing your needs, work on any insecurities that are popping up and interfering in how you're communicating in relationships. It's hard work, but it's definitely worth the effort. Cool. I will see you in the next reading. you can feel free to check out some other videos. I have unboxing video for our tea leaf cards. But oh, and we have some other readings, of course, as well. But until then, look out for the next reading and have a... Before I clear everything away, I realize I did not read the affirmations and everything for the full moon in Libra. So I'm going to cut that in real quick because this does seem poignant, and I feel like everybody else got one. So I want to make sure you get one as well. So for full moon in Libra, yeah, so this could be the start or a metamorphosis of some sort of relationship or the way that you're committed to someone. There's a need for balancing the ego is a specific thing that comes up. Balancing the ego. So that could be where that balance needs to happen. And then there is your affirmation, which is let go of that, which is falling away. And then some additional notes. See the other person through the eyes of love. It will change your perspective. It's time for you to make a firm decision. Time for you to focus on yourself for a while. Look after yourself, but avoid vanity. Now is a great time for a makeover. So really pouring into self, and not just self-development, but also self-care at all levels. Just pouring into yourself and building yourself, fortifying yourself, making yourself feel great regardless of the circumstances. So yeah, I did not want to forget that because I popped it open just to read it on the offhand. I was going to include it as just text, but I was like, no, they need to hear this. So enjoy. I will see y'all later.